this meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Huntington on August 17th, 2026. We'll now call the meeting to order beginning with roll call. Crystal?
Mayor Strick,
Present.
Danielle Albertson,
Present.
Megan Bonfrey,
Present.
Anthony Lisinickia,
Present.
Ian Lindsay.
Present.
Thank you. And having established a quorum for conducting of city business, we'll move along to the first item on the agenda, consideration of the August 3rd, 2026 regular meeting minutes. The motion to bring those to the floor for consideration and adoption as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the August 3rd minutes. Not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of adoption as submitted. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is regarding the August 17th, 2026 executive session minutes. Is there a motion to bring those to the floor for consideration and adoption as submitted?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? Not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of adoption as submitted, the executive session minutes. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion is carried, minutes are adopted. Next item under old business, we have bid recommendation for the 2026 street paving award and agreement. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, Director Cuthers.
Yes, the last Board of Public Works and Safety meeting, we opened bids for the 2026 street and alley paving. We had two bids. After reviewing those bids, the lowest, most responsible bidder was E&B Paving at $724,383.50. They've since submitted all of the necessary bonding documents and insurance requirements. Therefore, it would be my recommendation that the board award the 2026 street and alley paving project to E&B Paving and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement.
Is there a motion to act on the recommendation to award the 2026 street paving agreement to E&B Paving?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration. Questions by board members?
What was the change on that? 54? 50 cents?
50 cents.
50. Thank you.
Further discussion? Director Kutchers, for the benefit of those listening in at home or reading the minutes later on, can you explain a little bit about how the city identifies these particular streets and alleys for this joint agreement?
Yes, as a requirement under the state of Indiana, every 2 years the city surveys all 96 miles of city streets, plus or minus, that we have. We score all of them on a 1 to 10 PASER rating scale. 1 being a road has failed, 10 being brand new street. We score every one of them. And then when it comes time to selecting streets, for a milling and resurface, we typically look at the streets that score 4, 5, or 6 on that scale. We select those streets and then we build a package based on the funding we have available to maximize the most amount of streets to pave.
Thank you. Further discussion and consideration on the bid award? Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of the recommendation to award the agreement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Under new business, first item is a special event, the homecoming parade on September 18th for Huntington North High School. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. We have representatives of Huntington North here with us today to present more information on this year's parade. Thank you for being here. If you can state your name and address for the record, please.
Okay, my name is Sunshine Toich, and this is Taryn Cobbs. And we basically live at 450 McGann Street. We are asking permission for our homecoming parade this year, which is September 18th. We also wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of a new parade route. I don't know if you got to see the new parade route. We'd like to change it for safety of the children, especially the younger ones, the students. We would still start out coming out of the high school on 450 McGann and take a right. And then we would take a left on Northwood Fountain, but head south. to a left on Edith Boulevard, go across, and then take a left up North Jefferson, which is the same as last year, but here's the change. We would take another left at the old Walgreens on McGann Street and head back to the front of the school. The reason for this is last year, both Mrs. Cobbs and I were heading down Viking Lane, and we had to stop a lot of cars, especially like little grandmas, to exit out of Viking Lane when students of elementary schools were coming up Viking Lane. So it's very kind of eye-opening to us that we'd like to change it. And plus with TJ Maxx and all that commotions up there in construction, it might just be wise to come back down McGann Street into the entrance of the school. And you can see the drop-offs. Central Christian Church has been very nice and allowed us to drop off and pick up there in their parking lot, which is safe. And then also we have the east parking lot there at door 1. And the parade would start at 5. We would start lining up 4:30 to 5. And then last year it took about 35 minutes to get clear around. This year we think it'd probably only be 30 minutes to come in. But I think it's safe to, start and then end where you started. So it brings them back in, especially for the younger elementary students and parents.
Board members, any questions pertaining to the parade route request?
Do you have an estimate of how many people are participating?
Usually we have about 35 attendees, between the band, the cheerleaders, the homecoming court, and then you have the elementaries, the junior highs. We have a couple businesses, sometimes HU will attend if it's in the right time frame.
So it's only gonna be about what, an hour and a half an hour? Do you imagine any kind of, with having LaFontaine and Jefferson blocked, that's gonna cause any kind of traffic kerfuffle?
It's the same as last year, and Mr. Boxell.
Where's the turn? What was different last year? You went straight
We went straight on
Okay.
North Jefferson to Viking
and
Lane
you cut everybody
Okay.
off. Yeah. I don't think that's gonna be a problem.
because,
I mean, it's a short enough period. I think
Yeah.
it'll be-
the AD has asked us, they couldn't get the referees in, they couldn't get the
Right.
team in.
Exactly.
And that now with the tailgating so big and they're cooking out, we can't even get the kids in there. So we have to kind of reroute off of that.
I mean, I like that's coming back to the start.
Yes,
but-
I think that'll simplify the in and the out and confine it more to a localized area.
It's much safer.
Yes, I like that.
Any other questions on the proposed route changes? Okay, not hearing any this time. We already have a motion and a second to bring it forward discussion then. Call the question in favor of approval. The route is submitted. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
I,
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Next item under new business is a sidewalk closure and possibly parking space closure for tuck pointing work at 515 North Jefferson Street. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and discussion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, and let's say we got Mr. Jeff Hires, who's submitting the request, and I'd love to hear more information on it.
Yeah, so the address is 515 North Jefferson Street, and we're gonna do tuck pointing on the front of the building. And then we're also gonna do tuck pointing on the back of the building. The front of the building, we have to block off 50 feet width of the building, some parking spots to get my genie lift in there. And then the back of the building, we won't need to do that because there's plenty of room in the back. So I'm requesting that, we're asking that September 8th through the 12th, we have those blocked off for us to get the work done. Now, it might be 2 days, might be 3 days, but I'm allowing an extra day.
Any questions by board members?
Just trying to figure out where this is.
No.
Yeah, this would be the very top block of Jefferson Street,
It's
just
right.
south of River Court.
It's right beside Ness's building. Yeah, there we go.
And what business, is it just Ness that's in that, or what businesses are we looking at?
Next building. It's the next building south of Nessus.
Okay,
Gabrielle, Santiago, yes. Yeah,
and have you spoken to the businesses that'll be next to that, that'll be, or has someone spoken to them that'll be affecting their parking as well, or?
well, I mean, it's right in front
Yeah.
of the building that we're doing work, so, Andy Eckert's, aware of it.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can talk to a couple other businesses, but
Yeah, always talk to the neighbors.
Yeah.
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 Just so that,
Yeah.
I figured I'd come here first and then.
Can you, so it's that building there?
This one.
So can you zoom in on those cars? You're gonna just take up
The width of the, right, so what is that?
1, 2, 3, you're gonna take 5 spaces?
Five spaces. And then in order for us to block off, what you feel is acceptable, I've got cones with yellow tape, or I can put construction fencing around there. I can make some, posts, so to speak, and then put construction. So whatever you feel.
We've done this before for tuck pointers, right?
Yep.
What do you have them do? Do they put a barricade on? Do we close the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Typically, the sidewalk would be closed for pedestrians and the parking spots could be closed with something as simple as cones with construction tape or fencing if you feel it needs to be done that way.
So how do you want the sidewalk closed?
You would need to put a sign above, on top side of your work and bottom side of your work, says sidewalk closed. So that the public doesn't try to walk through there. It may be that while you're working, you stretch some construction tape, caution tape across the.
Okay. Okay.
And then you're gonna mobilize the 8th? So you said?
Yes, correct. Which is Tuesday. And then, right, so it's the day after Labor Day, and then, so we start Tuesday, possibly be done by Thursday, Friday.
A couple days in there for rain and whatnot.
Yeah, correct.
Sure.
Weather's gonna play a factor.
Yeah. What will you do with the lift after you're done working? What will the work site look like after you leave today?
So I will still have it, so where the cars are at, I will probably leave the lift parked there, and that will be surrounded, obviously, blocked off. And then once we get to the back alley, there's room, I will have room to put it up against, close to the building, so it'll be out of harm's way.
So the sidewalks closure and the parking spaces would be closed September 8th to the 12th.
And it could be opened up sooner, just depending on.
Sure, of course. And then how many days do you think on the back end? Like I said,
I've got the whole thing scheduled for 3 weeks, so I'm gonna say, at least a couple of weeks, probably 2 weeks on the back end. But the back end I don't have to close that down.
Right.
Because I have plenty of room to operate back there, so to speak. I mean, we've got power lines that we have to work around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you closed sidewalks before in other cities
In other cities.
or
I mean,
somewhere else or here?
I've done some concrete work here back in the mid to late 90s, and
Okay.
so for the city.
Yeah, and you obviously have enough experience to know that the safety is the priority of the pedestrians, and you got all the equipment demarcation necessary to make sure that it's safe.
Correct. Yep.
further questions, discussions? Okay, not hearing any, is there a motion to authorize the sidewalk closure and parking space closure for September 8th through the 12th for truck pointing work at 515 North Jefferson?
So moved.
second,
Motion second, further discussion? Not hearing any, we'll call the question in favor of authorization. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good luck with work.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, we do have Chief Boxell here with us. If there's a motion to bring request for authorization of officers to the floor.
so moved.
Second.
Motion second, Chief.
This is more of a question for Mike, but I should probably do these independently. Okay. So I know we had this discussion in reference to these two officers. We Are currently 2 officers short at the Huntington Police Department. The hiring of these 2 will bring us to full staff. The first one that I would bring to you today as a recommendation for hire would be Mason Satterthwaite.
Is there a motion to authorize extending a hiring contract for Mason Sadler?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? Not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorization of employment agreement, Mason Satterthwaite. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you. The next officer is Jaron Mason. My recommendation that we move to hire him as our final slotted officer at the Huntington Police Department.
Is there a motion to authorize the hiring of Jared Mason?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, further discussion and consideration. Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorization of hiring Jared Mason. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
For the benefit of the public and those listening, of course, we did an executive session beforehand where more thorough discussion was authorized. Again, with all human resource matters, those are separate from the public meeting. Action is taken. Next item on the agenda is regarding the Catalyst Group contract amendment and extension. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and discussion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Board members, this is an item I'm bringing before you today. Catalyst Group is based in Indianapolis, and they look out for the interests of the city of Huntington, as well as the Regional Mayors and Commissioners Caucus and other efforts, especially with all the changes going on in the State House as it relates to property taxes, income taxes, local revenues, local versus state control of various matters. We think this has been a good contract, and like to see it extended another year, so bring you back for your consideration. Happy to answer any questions.
Is this like a consultant thing for you?
So this is a group that actually advocates our positions down at the State House as it relates to legislation.
How long have we been working with them?
We've been working with them on a contract for 1 year now. And then I've been working with them through the regional partnership and other efforts since January 2020.
And can you say again, what is it that they do?
They look out for us down at the State House when the State House is making changes to legislation. So they're there on a daily basis and making sure that we're being advocated for at the local level. Further questions, discussion?
What is the price of this contract?
Top of my head, I think it's 48,000.
How do you know it's working?
By the results.
You're happy with the results that you're getting from the group?
I'm happy with the results I'm getting from their effort and work on behalf of the city. I'm not
Okay.
happy with the results coming from Indianapolis.
Yes, okay, that's what I figured, yes,
And that's why we hired them for reinforcement.
understandable, yeah,
Yep.
okay, thank you.
I feel like we've discussed this before, have we not? This has been brought up.
This is last year's in the beginning.
Okay, I know we've discussed this before. Okay.
So they, like I said, they're advocating, a lot of it is scheduling meetings with various members of the State House or the Governor Braun's team, so they understand how things work on a local level. So we can try to make things work better for folks. So a great example of this, of course, is, with our ongoing discussion around the SEA 1, as they talk about reducing revenues from property taxes and a potential property tax credit for homeowners, showing them the math that while you're doing that, you're also forcing income tax higher. So in my personal example, you might save me $165 on my property taxes, but you cost me $650 on my income tax. And so being able to actually get the meeting scheduled, get in with them, present testimony before committee helps
Yeah, that
them
sounds,
think through these things.
sounds like it's worth it for sure.
Because the worst thing you can do is advocate how you're cutting taxes for folks, and actually the reality is you're increasing taxes.
Who else uses them, do you know?
I'm not aware of all the clients they represent. I do know the Mayors and Commissioners Caucus in the region uses them.
Okay.
So that's, like I said, that's how I crossed paths with them and saw the work there, and that's why we reached out to them to help us.
Right, thank you.
Do you have like a direct contact that you work with there that kind of gives you?
So do they do representation or do they just kind of chew all this up and make it more palatable for us up here?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
So do
They
they take,
directly represent the city in those matters.
okay, I didn't know if it was more representation or if they just take all what's going on and come back and make it, yeah, more like, this is what's happening.
It's two-way, but it's action, not just reporting.
Okay. Understood, thank you.
Any further question?
I move for full approval of Catalyst Agreement contract amendment.
I second that motion.
Motion and second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
I,
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is regarding the Riverfront West Lift Station Agreement with Fox Contractors. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor?
Second.
Motion and second. Director Cutters.
Yes, at the last Board of Works meeting, the board awarded the River Fork West Lift Station project to Fox Contractors. I'm simply bringing the agreement before the board and asking for your authorization for the mayor to sign the agreement so that we can start getting this project rolling.
Is there a motion to authorize the agreement with Fox Contractors?
So moved.
second,
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration. Not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of the recommendation and authorization of the agreement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
I,
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is vacation policy requests. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Carroll.
Good afternoon. I'm here today to recommend that the board approve a special exception to the city's vacation policy by granting the Human Resource ADA Compliance Director one additional week of paid vacation. This special exception is intended to recognize the director's additional responsibilities associated with their position. This request does not amend the city's existing vacation policy or establish a precedent for future exceptions. Currently, the director receives 2 weeks of vacation. With the approval of this special exception, the director would receive 3 weeks of vacation moving forward and would otherwise remain subject to all provisions of the city's vacation policy starting in 2027. So I would recommend that the Board of Public Works approve the special exception to the city's vacation policy and authorize 1 additional week of paid vacation for the Human Resource ADA Compliance Director.
Okay, is there a motion to authorize that recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? Okay, not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of the recommendation to authorize an additional week's vacation for the Human Resources Director of the City of Lansing. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
I,
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Moving along on the agenda, under orders of enforcement, 2 status hearings today. At this time, we'll consider the status hearing on 448 Lindley Street. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
second,
Motion and second.
Good afternoon. As of July, the property is 448 Lindley Street. As of July 31st, 2026, the new owner is Leland Riggs of 514 Lindley Street. Let's run through this. The order of enforcement was issued on May 22nd, 2026, with an effective deadline date of June 20th, 2026. At the time of issuance, there were 12 unsafe violations, 13 minimum housing violations, along with 15 corrective measures for compliance. The board has ultimately modified that order when the original owner attempted to sell the property, so the order was modified until today's date. As I said, Leland Riggs took possession on July 31st, so he's owned it now for 17 days. I did meet with Leland prior to the meeting, and we have an interior inspection scheduled for September 1st, 2026 at 5 o'clock. And Leland is here to provide the board with an update and what he's done and plans to do with the property.
Hey, I'm Leland Briggs. So to just kind of explain, obviously, like you said, I've owned the property now for 17 days, planning full restoration of the house, beginning with obviously gutting the entire house. So I've gutted the house down to the studs with a new roof scheduled to go on this coming Thursday, which was meant to be installed this previous Friday, I believe it was the 13th, but I could be mistaken. No, yes, I'm not sure. Was meant to be installed this previous Friday, but due to weather and rain conditions, obviously has been postponed. And then following the roof is going to continue with the rest of the restoration.
Board members, questions for Commissioner Paul or Mr. Riggs?
Do you have a timeline in mind for when you plan to have this all completed?
Written.
Not a written timeline. A more accurate timeline will be judged after the roof is installed, because then I'll be framing, electrical, plumbing, HVAC. So all of which will come scheduled after.
But you could still put together a timeline, even though you might be off by a few days. right?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, late October. If I were to just kind of guess.
So your meeting is September 1st, is that correct?
Yes, to do the interior inspection.
So could you put something together, just a spitball timeline and have that ready for
100%.
Commissioner Paul, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
With his schedule, what he's looking at, I would just make a recommendation to push it out till November 16th, which is roughly 89 days from today. Come back.
And you mentioned you gutted the property. Do you plan on hiring contractors for any of the other work to be done, or?
Correct. For plumbing and framing is all going to be hired out. Electrical, I've got a family member who said technically will be contracted out, but
You're a licensed electrician and everything?
correct. And then I'll be personally redoing all of the HVAC in the home.
You don't say.
Yep. I am a licensed HVAC.
Comes in handy.
Yep.
Just to be clear, when you make that timeline, make sure that you reference all these items on here and when they're going to be addressed. That'll be really helpful to go a long way.
100%.
Further questions or discussion?
Do you have any challenges when gutting it?
Not really. And besides those gross, it's probably the biggest challenge.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool one.
Great opportunity.
Mr. Riggs, do you have any questions for the board pertaining to the order of enforcement or anything else?
Not at this time.
Board members, any further questions? Okay, if not, would somebody entertain a motion to modify the order of enforcement and provide an extension to November 16th?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? Not seeing or hearing any this time, we'll call a question in favor of the motion to modify the order of enforcement, provide an extension and deadline date to November 16th. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Extension's granted. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for your work on this. It's gonna be good.
Thank you.
Next status hearing is regarding 1143 Harris Street. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration discussion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Commissioner Paul?
The owner of the property is IBYH LLC, 4000 West 106th Street, Carmel, Indiana. That order of enforcement was issued on April 30th, 2026. At the time of issuance, there were 13 unsafe violations, 15 minimum housing violations, along with 16 corrective measures for compliance. The board has modified the order twice to allow them additional time to complete the repairs. Those photos there were taken last Friday. So it looks like, I'd say the outside is 99% done, if not fully done. And since the date of issuance, the order has been in effect for 109 days at this time. So it looks like, per the corrective measures of compliance, they're down to just interior corrections and inspections. And their representative, he is here to speak with you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Each of the questions that was asked. Pass those around.
How much of an extension do you think you'll need to finalize the work?
He's got dates on here.
Okay. Give us just a second to skim through this then.
Yeah.
It's like mid-November for completion.
They probably would have been farther off. These crews been pulled off in Anderson. Working on a lot of places, Anderson, Newcastle.
Rain slowed people down too.
Yeah.
Have you been inside?
Yes.
You have.
Oh, I was like, yeah, the Chevy is kind of, they displaced me a little bit.
Yeah, the deck that was there, they ended up just, the floor joists were fine, so they just reskipped of it.
That's up to Laura.
Yep.
I went by there on the way here and talked to the neighbors, and they're all thrilled.
Yeah.
I see a lot of weeds growing up there, and I'll make sure they understand that these come in. Keep them out.
Like just gutters and downspouts on the outside.
I was looking at that too, because water was dripping off there. I remember being inside there, and I was gonna, I'm sure they're gonna put them up because water's splashing up the sides.
Now, what's the end goal with this property?
Pardon me?
What is the end goal with this property? Like, do they plan to rent it, sell it?
I think they're gonna sell it. They're gonna put it on the market. Not unless, you guys come up with some more that they could work on. One being here in in Huntington from Anderson is, in Carmore, Fisher is a long way, so, but Jason did say that he was gonna reach out and see if you guys, they got 300-400 properties. And the city of Muncie has seen what they do to their properties, they give them to them. Then they go in and they got certain days, they gotta have this done, and the city gives them money.
Gotcha.
So, sure, I don't think Huntington would be up for that, but, if you got some sitting around that need to be worked on, these guys.
There's always ways to approach a
Yeah.
conversation, so you're welcome to reach out to my office.
Yeah.
Okay, board members, anything else pertaining to 1143 Harris Street? There's a request in the update. There is a request on a specific date for an extension to November 20th. And, there's a motion to modify the order to allow the work extended until then. If there's a different date, comparable date preferred.
So you have been inside, but you have not been scheduled to do an actual walkthrough, is that correct?
I was inside after they first took possession and started working on it, but since, and I don't think much has changed probably inside because they.
They just started tearing out the drywall and redoing the flooring.
Okay.
There wasn't a whole lot of work inside really. I mean, it was more cosmetics and alterations of what they were doing.
Now they're gonna open it up, make it open concept. They got cabinets ordered for them. That's what they usually do. They got a cabinet maker that makes the cabinets. And so they don't skimp out on it.
And when is typically the best time for you, like, for completion, or when is the best time for you to go in and do that, like
Yeah,
during progress
I
or
would say-
like at the?
When they're done,
Okay.
they're shooting for the middle of November.
Okay.
You could always do something if you use that November 16th Board of Works meeting date.
Okay.
Be either be done by then or have a real good real close to it, we can see.
So a modification of that date, but then you guys schedule a walkthrough before then?
Before the 16th.
Was that a motion to modify the order to the November 16th meeting? It's deadline.
If that, okay, yes, and then, Commissioner Paul, and set up a date for a walkthrough before the board meeting? That work? Yes.
That's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
So you guys want me to come back on November 16th,
Yes, please.
same time?
I think at that point, honestly, you're only
Oh, yeah.
needed here if you're needed here. So if the work's done, you guys have already had to walk through in a different date. And frankly, at that point, even if it's near total completion, if you just provide something that Chad, you can present on behalf of that point. So let's save you another trip up. So I have a motion and second to modify the order enforcement to extend the deadline to November 20th of 2020, or I'm sorry, November 16th of 2026. Further discussion and consideration of the motion to amend. Not seeing or hearing any this time, we will call the question in favor of the motion to modify the order enforcement and extend the deadline to November 16th. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
That's what I think.
Yep. Next item is item on the agenda was the authorization of bills approved by the city of Huntington, accounts payable. Is there a motion to authorize that?
So
Second.
Motion and second for the discussion and consideration. Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of the motion to authorize payment of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Not aware of any miscellaneous items for the good of the order. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
second.
Motion and second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We stand adjourned. Have a great week, everyone.
Good thing you got that.